Hey guys, Ghost here with this time with a video about some of the games that I would like to see from the past. So, many of these games have had no entries in them since the 2010s, for most of them at least. Some of them have exceeded a little bit longer, but or have remakes already. But as I would say, I would want to see more from that. So basically, this video is gonna be like my wish list of what what games I would like to see brought back. So, without further ado, let's head into the list. So the first one I would like to see remade, rebooted, or remastered, basically would be Killzone. Preferably Killzone 2 or Killzone 3, because Killzone 1, it's good, but it's very dated. You can tell it's a PS2 game, to be honest. Doesn't make it bad at any means. It's still a good game. People would consider it a Halo competitor. I'm like, that's not really a Halo competitor, but you know, can't really, you know. But I would love to see that game series again, because it was kind of PlayStation's only exclusive FPS, and I know the company that made them did go out of business and actually got turned into a different studio. Well, actually, yeah, I believe that was the actual like portable version of it. They're kind of off-brand. But now I believe they're making the Horizon Zero Dawn games, which I'll be honest, I'm not that into that stuff. But yeah. So the next one would be actually a studio that went out of business. Sony shut down, which would be the SOCOM games. SOCOM games were really good. I only played the PSP versions of them, but I still had fun, even though I didn't know what I was doing and I kept dying a bunch of times because I didn't know it was stealth. I thought you just went in and went ba-da-da-da, but no, you have to go around and sneak out around everybody. But yeah, I still enjoyed them, so that just shows some games you don't even have to understand to have fun with. For example, that. But yeah, seeing SOCOM again would probably make people and myself happy, and I would get a PS5 for that reason. If they had Killzone 2. But yeah, so next on the next one is Project Gotham Racing. Project Gotham Racing is a nostalgic property for me. I used to play it all the time on my 360, original Xbox, all the time. I still do, actually. I have most of the achievements in PGR4, which is Project Gotham Racing 4. And that game, legit, is just so good. It has a great soundtrack, great graphics for actually 2008, which is really good because I think 2008 was a year after Halo 3, and you think of Halo 3 and it had really good graphics, but the human graphics were kind of eh. But that game just had overall good polygonal usage, I guess would be the term for it. But it had good overall that. So yeah. And then we'll go on to the next one. This is a big one. So I still play this one. Most of the games I still do play the older versions of, which I would love to see them remade and stuff. But next one is the Burnout games. Specifically, Burnout 3 and Burnout Revenge. Those two games came out in 2005 and 2006. So, back then, EA was known as a good company. More good than they're known now. Now they're known like for money. Back then they were known for more leniency and actually good games. So the reason I would want to see them again is because they're just nostalgic to me, and I know it'd be hard with the soundtrack and all, but you know, EA is EA, and they can do it. But then the next one would be Twisted Metal. So Twisted Metal also is another nostalgic game for me that I want to see back. It's just a game that I have a really solid liking, or I have a love for Twisted Metal Black and Twisted Metal 2012. Whenever they rebooted them the first time. So, theoretically, they could reboot them again. Twisted Metal 2012 did do pretty well. It didn't review very well, but it did pretty well in terms of sales. But yeah, I would just want to see Sweet Tooth again. Sweet Tooth and Axel, dude with the two wheels on his arms, where he's literally a human Axel. But that would be really cool to see that again. And next would be Midnight Club. So Midnight Club, it had a little bit of, the first game was exclusive to the PS2, the second, the 3 and 2, or 2 and 3, I don't know why I said it like that, 2 and 3 were both platforms. I think the second one was on GameCube too. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was on GameCube too. One of the things I would like to see it for is because GTA has kind of become, you know, GTA Online, and I do see elements of Midnight Club and GTA Online. For example, the customization of the cars and stuff, it's heavily inspired by Midnight Club. But overall, it would be nice to just see another Midnight Club, or at least like a remake of Midnight Club 3 or 2 or 3. I keep doing that. But yeah. So next one. This is one of many of you probably were expecting. But the Splinter Cell games. So if you guys didn't know, there hasn't been a Splinter Cell game since 2010, I believe, around that time. As I said, that most of these games had a last game around 2010s. But yeah. So Splinter Cell was a stealth game reminiscent of Metal Gear, and overall it's a really good series to get into if you guys find it for cheap, which is really cheap in some places. It would be a good series to go into and basically play it, because I mean on Xbox One at least you can play most of them, actually all of them that was on Xbox on there. And I don't know about PlayStation users though, so I would look into that if you were interested in it. But yeah, so we're down to the last 3. So the next one is going to be Transformers. Now, I'm talking about the War for Cybertron games and Fall of Cybertron games. So those 2 games are by far the best Transformer games that you can probably get. I know there's one of them that was released in PAL regions on the PS2, but since I hadn't ever played that and I want to play it, but I can't because it's not around my area, we're going to go with War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron. So those 2 games are going, I would say they're the best Transformers games, because you can transform, you can drive around, and they're just kind of linear, and they're really story driven, which is odd to think from a Transformers game, is that a game would be story driven by Transformers. But yeah, so if you think about it, the movies, they're not really story driven, they're just kind of boom, boom, boom. That's my reenactment for this. Someone make a short out of that, and yeah. But yeah, so overall they had really good multiplayers too, where you could go online and battle people. And next would be Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. This one especially because Need for Speed 2005 was a game that I played hours, and I still play hours of. I've never beat it, but I just love going in there and just picking cars and just racing around. That's one of the things I enjoy. But yeah, that's basically the only reason. It's a good soundtrack as well. Most of these games do, so yep. And then, last one will be F-Zero. So F-Zero hasn't had a game since 2004, I believe. Long time. Very long time. This series is very legendary. It started on the Super Nintendo, and it basically went on from there. And the last one, which I'm guessing why they haven't made another one, is because the last one they had taxed the GameCube to the max. Like, the GameCube, it pushed the GameCube to its limits. And I mean, we've got similar games, like there was a game called Fast RMX. I have that game. It's good, but it's not really F-Zero. But yeah, I would say my favorite F-Zero game would be the original, or F-Zero X or GX. There was portable versions of it too, though. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any comments or anything, make sure to leave a comment below. And I will see you guys in the next one, and bye!